Evening. All right, fast forward. We've just bought the Lakon Type 6. Now, there was a lot of trading that just went back and forward then, but I've cut it out because I'm sure you don't want to see that. But my career in the elite dangerous world is going well. I mean, I must admit, it's once you get these ships that have a much larger, that's my brain again, much larger cargo hold, you can just do so much more with them, and trading becomes pretty easy. Once you've got it. Look at this thing. This thing's like a beast, and I love the fact that it's got the kind of, I don't know what they call that, a totally surrounded cockpit, let's say. But this thing's got 100 slots of cargo, which is pretty good. And I think it's one of these kind of things that we probably could fill it quite easily, because we're only trading relatively low value stuff, but the margins are quite high. So the margins on our clothing, for example, you buy it for 116, but you sell it for 300. So in bulk, it's actually not bad at all. It's about 25k per run. So yeah, it's not bad when you think about it. The agri medicines are better though, because you buy them for I think 600 and you sell them for over 1,000 back here at Chango Dock. So that gives me, I don't know, that'd be about, what, 60, 40, no, 45s, maybe 50k per run. So in total, you're totaling maybe about 70, 75k per run, which is a lot of money when you think about it. That's actually quite easy credits, considering it's a single warp, it's a single jump. With the docking computer that eventually I do manage to get, it becomes incredibly easy to do that. So probably would say one of the biggest things to kind of bear in mind is these things are heavy, really heavy. These things have got a lot of junk in the trunk, which means that they don't slow down very easily, which means the first time I used it, I almost slammed it into the side of the station because the deceleration was really bad. So just bear that in mind. Just to, again, just to kind of comment on that. I mean, look at that, isn't that beautiful? I love it. I love these kind of things. Look at that Lakon. It's even branded as well. I think that's brilliant. You gotta love it. So fast forward again, just done a couple more runs, and we're back in the Cobra. So you see here we got 300k. I cut it all out because I didn't really want to bore you with it. But what we're going to talk here about is really how you then fit the ships. Now, I haven't found an ideal fit yet. We're just experimenting with all the guns, and you'll see us do this. Now, one of the things I would say is really good is that gimbalized multi-cannon I really would rave about. It's basically 2 auto-tracking miniguns on the front of your ship. They're pretty good. Now, again, post in the comments if I've got this wrong, but where it says G in brackets, that's a gimbaled cannon, so that will actually, it's on a mount, so effectively it will rotate and kind of track the target. If it says F, it's fixed, so it will only fire directly forward. And if it's got T, correct me if I'm wrong, that means turret, so it's for a larger ship. You can actually have independent turrets that track. So you could have like a Lakon with turrets. You could have an Anaconda, for example, a big, which is a cruiser really, I guess, and that has multiple turrets that will then just track and fire independently, which is nice. So they fire at will, basically. Now, towards the end of this series, this run, let's say, you'll see that we actually fit turrets to the Cobra, which works quite well. But anyway, we'll come to that. So what we're fitting here is the gimbalized pulse laser C3. Now, again, I've worked out, correct me if I'm wrong, that the category, the class, is how heavy the thing is. So this is a class 3. I actually can fit class 4 weapons on those 2 front hardpoints and class 2 on these underneath hardpoints. So I'm limited to C1 and C2. But here if we go, for example, if I had the beam laser, I could fit a gimbalized beam laser. So it would track and target as we go. Or I could fit railguns, etc. I didn't like railguns. Maybe I missed something on them, but I found them to be really shite. Not a big fan of the pulse laser either. The burst laser is not bad because it's a bit stronger, but to be honest, I mean, we went all pulse laser to begin with. I wouldn't recommend that either because it takes a lot of power to run those. I actually think it's better to run maybe 2 energy and 2 ammo driven guns like the Gatling guns, the multi-cannon. And I think that's probably not too bad. Now, the cargo scanner is quite interesting as well. For a pirate, that's a given. You need that, but it's not the easiest thing to use. The docking computer, I would also say, is worth it. It's slower than docking it yourself, yes, but it's nice just to literally aim at the station, press dock, and then just leave it, and then you can go and do other stuff. You can alt-tab out and leave. the thing to dock. I've never been never been surprised yet. The armor also is pretty important as well. So mirrored surface is the best one for energy-based weapons. Reactive is good for ammo and missiles, so kind of impact, massed shells. Military grade is pretty good all round, and reinforced is relatively middle ground. So I just went with the middle ground to begin with. Now, everything you add to the ship increases the insurance cost of the ship, which I believe is 10 to 15%. If you're an alpha backer, I believe it's 5%, but I'm a beta backer, so I think it's 10. I think everybody else is 15. I could be wrong, but I think. But you have to factor in actually that the more you upgrade your ship, the more it costs to then insure. So don't forget that. And unfortunately, this little tranche of videos in the next 3-4 videos ends with us being screwed by the insurance system, because there's still a bug there, which means you will actually lose everything. So we lost basically 250,000 credits because of the insurance system not working. It didn't recognize the ship I was in, so it actually didn't allow me to recover it after I lost it. So yeah, that sucks, but you'll see that. But anyway, back in a wonderful, wonderful Cobra Mark III. I think this is my ship. Look at this. Look, and that's a Cobra Mark III in front of me. Look at it. It's a beautiful ship, isn't it? It's almost majestic as I smash him out the way. Meet me. I do love this ship, and I think there's something quite powerful about it. It even sounds a little bit kind of throaty if you think about the way that one of the things I really would draw out from this game is the sound engineer who made the sounds for this game. He has got to be the best in his game, because the best in his field, because it's excellent. The sound in every way is brilliant in this game. From hitting the afterburner and hearing that huge kind of roar, to the engines, of the whining sound within the ship's cockpit, it is just brilliant. I'm so impressed with it. It really is good. There we go. We're just using our flight assist little trick there. I think you saw that. We hit the afterburner once, got to 400. Turn off your flight assist, and you just keep going at that speed. That'll save your life a few times, I'm sure. And as soon as we hit warp, I press X now to stop all the engines. And when I come out of warp, I'll then be at stop. So again, thanks to Lex for that. Really, really good comments. But I think generally, the game is really excellent now. And I think if you're tempted with this game, you've got a spare 50 quid. It's not cheap still. It's still a little bit pricey. But I still think you're going to get a hell of a game that you will just play forever. And I really would recommend you give it a go. It's up to you. I think if you've got a relatively middle-of-the-range PC, that's fine. You'll play it okay. It's not a high-demanding game in terms of its PC requirement either. So I think, seriously consider maybe getting this in the near future. Anyway, there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. And the next one will show a bit more combat.